Just when you thought that the Falcons couldn't blow another lead, they blow another lead. What is going on, everyone? This is the Fantasy Aces podcast. I'm your host, Joe Bevilacqua. With me, we got Sonny Chowdhury, who I guess is Kyle Murray. We got Nate Holleran, who some Eagles player, and Mike Hendel, who is clearly Batman today. It's our it's our Halloween episode. We got a loaded episode for you guys today. We're gonna do fantasy takeaways and the waiver wire for Week 8. We're also going to be doing our best lineup for Week 8, buy low, sell high for Week 8, and if we have enough time from you viewers, we'll do some mailbag questions. All right. I want to talk about Seattle and Arizona, all right? Sonny, lead us off with that. How do you feel about the end of that game?
You know, I still haven't gotten over that game. I mean, if you don't think that's the game of the year, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, props to the NFL for first off flexing it to prime time. You know, if you're a fan of football, you gotta love that. You know, big time win for the Cardinals, huge game for Lockett. You know, just an amazing game.
Yeah, no, a lot of performances, especially from Chase Edmonds filling in for Kenyon Drake. He had an excellent job, so that was pretty awesome to see. Nate, how do you feel about that Seahawks-Arizona game?
Oh, it was so good. I was so happy. Mike still beat me, though. I versed Mike in the league. He still beat me by a large margin. DK Metcalf
little margin.
Yeah, not a huge margin, but
it was like 10 points.
Margin. Yeah, so it wasn't huge, but
and then Tyler got
DK,
60 points.
Yeah, Tyler got 60. DK gave me 4. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, personally, as a Lockett owner and a Cardinals fan, I personally could not have asked for anything better. You know, as long as we get the win, they can go off. I care.
I was so mad. I was like, out of all the weeks, I was so close to Mike. My kicker actually came back, and it was wanted for me. But Mike had, I think, what was it? Cooper Kupp playing. So he beat me with that.
How did you guys feel about that? We had an amazing Sunday night game, and then you get the Bears, the Rams the next night. I mean, the difference is insane.
Hey, it was starting off as a good, really good defensive matchup, and then the Rams just carried away in the passing game. Batman, how did you feel about the Seattle and Arizona game?
I mean, I felt fine. It was on during the Dodgers game, so I only watched overtime. But okay. I have issue with what you said at the top of the show. You said when you didn't think the Falcons could blow another lead. I thought they could. Nate, did you think they could?
I mean,
did you think they could?
That was sarcasm.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, you knew it. You got to be used to it at this point.
When you don't kick a field goal just to
win
the game.
That was not unexpected, man.
No, I apologize. That was my
most predictable blown lead I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. When they had 1 minute left, I'm like, it's over.
Not and then Todd Gurley just like.
Who do you honestly blame at that point? Do you blame the players or do you blame the coaching? What do you do at that point?
Todd Gurley.
I blame coaching. Ooh. I don't know about Todd Gurley. He went full force. He's like, no one just blocked me, and he tried to stop.
He just had to fall down like a dead fish. Yeah. You guys see him just like falls into the end zone.
Yeah, or kneel or anything.
You should be practicing that. That's something you should practice.
I mean, he did it what was it? Was it a few years ago against Green Bay? You know, he knows not to get into the end zone.
Yeah, I still blame coaching for that. But what are you gonna do? All right, guys, it is midway season. It is midway season in fantasy, and we're going to list our MVPs, one from the NFC, one from the AFC, and a rookie. This could be fantasy related mostly. So I'll start off. My rookie is my boy James Robinson. Right now, his rankings and standard is 3, and PPR he's 2. This guy's an undrafted rookie. And he's leading right now in fantasy. He had 2 games over 30 points. So by far, that's my rookie guy. He's helped me win a ton of games just in the flex spot. I think he did an absolutely amazing job. NFC star, I'm going my boy Calvin Ridley. Right now, his rank and standard is 1st, and in PPR, I believe he's 3rd. The only one beating him in PPR, I know Hopkins is number 1, but both Hopkins and Ridley both haven't had a bye, but Ridley had a game where he had 0 points, and he's still only 3 points behind Hopkins. So I think he's doing a fabulous job. It's just like more of a shock to me that he's really up that high. I thought he'd be like top 12, but I did not think he'd be number 1 in standard at this point right now. So just congrats to him. And then my AFC guy, I'm going with Nate from surprising shock is Ryan Tannehill. I never thought that Ryan Tannehill would make it as a top 12 quarterback so far, and he is in the top 12. He is consistent, and I wouldn't mind having him as a starting quarterback in and out every week. So that's my props to him. We're going to go with Sonny. What are your MVPs, your midseason MVPs?
Oh, for my AFC MVP, I got to go with Kareem Hunt. I mean, you just got to think about all the guys that were going above him. He was the second running back taken in his own backfield. And now he's like a top 5 dude every week. And I mean, I think he's been so good that even when Chubb comes back, he should still have a big role. And now we talk about the Odell injury. You should see more work in the passing game. So I think he's a top 5 dude, here on out. And he's someone that went in the 5th round compared to Chubb that was taken in the early 2nd. So he's been unreal, and he's someone that I have a lot of shares of. So I'm proud of that. But my rookie, I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the Chiefs. He's been insane. Even with Le'Veon Bell, I think people are overreacting. He's been phenomenal these past few weeks. I think he's really starting to establish himself. And I think he'll still have a decent role from here on out. So I think it's just really valuable to have a running back that's guaranteed touches in a high-powered offense. For the rookie in the NFC, I'm going to take Justin Jefferson. This really came down to Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. But now with the new quarterback, they got DiNucci, the third-string quarterback. He had one rushing attempt last week. I don't know how reliable he's going to be from here on out. And Justin Jefferson, he has a role in his offense. He's the second, sometimes first option on a high-powered offense. And then for the MVP, I'm going to go with your guy too, Calvin Ridley. You think about all the guys that went above him. He's been the most consistent, other than that one goose egg that he laid. He's a top receiver, and he looks like the best receiver for fantasy purposes on his own team, even with Julio Jones.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Nate, what are your midseason MVPs?
Yeah, so you took 2 of mine. It was Tannehill and it was Ridley. I mean, he took mine also. Right. I love Ridley. I do. I think that he's set up for such a bright future, despite the Falcons, mishaps of what they've been going through this season. But just to speed it up, to moving on to Tannehill, I took him on early in the year, and I said he would be a top 12 quarterback, and he's proving that. Yeah. I remember also, just to throw that in there, about Derrick Henry, how some people made fun of me for picking Derrick Henry to be a top running back. It was so. Let's see how well that's going. I think he's number 1.
Yeah, I mean, would you guys agree that Henry might have been the best pick in the first round? I mean, if you just look at all the injuries, I think he might have been the best.
Maybe Alvin Kamara.
Oh, yeah. Kamara for sure.
Yeah,
he's my MVP. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, continue.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with a rookie. Man, another one. I gotta do Justin Herbert. I gotta do him. Okay. The dude is phenomenal. He is the biggest surprise, I think, of any NFL player besides Travis Fulgham. No.
Wow. I agree with Nate on both counts.
Yes. Okay. Besides the whole Travis Fulgham, it's a whole different story. But Justin Herbert, the guy comes out of nowhere, and like we said before, he's on the Chargers. He's facing, tough teams. He beats the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he only loses 3 points or a little more to all-star team, high-powered offense. It's unreal. The guy puts up tremendous amount of numbers. So it would definitely be Tannehill, Ridley, Herbert. I had another one. Yeah, I'm lost on this one. You can move on to Mike.
All right, Mike, what are your midseason MVPs?
Rookie, I'm definitely going Herbert. Same as Nate. I'm not an NFL scout, but I didn't see him having an impact right away. I saw his games in college, and I was like, okay, I mean, there's some tools there, but he's legit. He's so legit. He's legit, man. He's an NFL quarterback. He's not a rookie. He's not whatever. He's an NFL quarterback already. AFC, I don't really know. I guess Mahomes. I don't know. NFC, definitely Kamara. He hasn't had a game with less than 19 points. He's so reliable. The offense is geared around him, and he doesn't really disappoint. So those are my guys.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta give it a shout out.
I have one more. Right. And he's to no surprise, but we cannot forget how people thought Kyler Murray wasn't going to be such a great quarterback.
Thank you. I was gonna say I had to give a shout out to my clone.
Yeah,
he's the only person that's been He's been a top 6 QB every week. Only QB.
And don't forget though, even though even though the Seahawks are such a great team, they struggle on defense. They give up a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray though, that NFC West is insane.
Yeah.
3 teams with 5 wins. Absolutely insane. That is probably the best division in football right now. By far. It is unreal. Kyler Murray has definitely proven he looks like the next Russell Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. The dude looks amazing.
Oh, for sure. He's basically
amazing. He's like a clone of him. He's a prototype.
He's way faster. He's way faster than Russell Wilson.
And that's the best part too. And he's way faster. He's
I would say that he's more of a Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma on steroids kind of a player.
I didn't know Baker Mayfield.
When I was watching
Oklahoma.
When I was watching the game, I was just thinking, I'm like, so how can Seattle actually stop this dude? Because if it's open, if there's a slight room for him to run, he will run and he will get positive yardage from it. I'm just like,
that's true.
I'm just shocked from it.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick can do it, Kyler Murray can.
That is true. All right, guys, let's get some news around the league. We know Odell Beckham tore his ACL and is out for the season, which is a tragedy. We will find out soon how much time Kenyon Drake will miss. I think it's a couple weeks. Jeff Wilson Jr. suffered a high ankle sprain, and Deebo Samuel pulled his hamstring. So a slew of injuries on the 49ers. Andy Dalton got taken off the field with a nasty hit. Ben DiNucci to play, so we'll see his status on the Cowboys. And Chris Carson may be missing some time as well. So look to Hyde as a replacement, but also Hyde is getting injured as well. So look at that Seattle depth chart for running backs. All right, guys, we're going to get into our first topic, fantasy takeaways and the waiver wire of Week 8. We each got a position. Sonny, you're going to start with quarterbacks.
All right, so we got some good quarterbacks this week, actually. So the first guy I'm going to say is Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, Joe, you know why? They got a date with the Atlanta Falcons. If you play against the Atlanta Falcons, you're most likely going to be a top 12 quarterback for the week. And they've given up over 300 yards every game. And Stafford was actually the first quarterback to not score multiple touchdowns. So we'll see how Teddy does. I love Teddy this week, and I think you should feel comfortable starting him. Next up is Derek Carr, Mike, your boy. So Derek Carr has actually had multiple touchdown passes in every game since week 1. And now he gets to go up against the Giants that got torched for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns to Joe Burrow. So, Derek Carr's actually been pretty good, and he's been surprising. I didn't actually expect this from him. And now he's got, Aguilar and Ruggs and Waller to throw to. So I think that game could be a shootout. And I also think the guy on the other side, Baker Mayfield, could be a good option this week. I mean, he had 5 touchdowns last week against Cincinnati. And, I'm just going to say it. I think Baker just looks a lot better without Odell Beckham. I mean, he had that incredible rookie year where he had that touchdown rookie record, all without Odell Beckham. And then, I don't know if you guys saw, but he had started off the game with 5 incompletions. And as soon as Odell left the game, he went 22 of 23, 5 touchdowns. And now he takes on a Raiders defense. They gave up 5 touchdowns to Tom Brady. So I think Baker should be, should be a big week for Baker again. I think you can rely on him.
All right, and those are the quarterbacks. I like those options. Nate, you're doing wide receivers. What do you have up for us?
Absolutely.
Hopefully, it's not 3 Eagles wide receivers because we don't know that.
No, honestly, would that be a bad option? No.
Well, they're not in many leagues. So.
Yeah. So waiver wire. Brandon Ayuk. I like Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. I really do. The guy caught 6 or 7 targets, 115 yards. And blew out the Patriots. We don't want to talk about the Patriots and what's going on there. In a 33-6 win, Brandon Ayuk has come in strong for Deebo Samuel, who's struggling with injuries this season. So him still being available in most of the leagues is a solid pickup. It's definitely the flex.
He's just so athletic, dude. But yeah, Deebo played well, but then he just got injured, and Ayuk might be the only option. So I agree with that. Yeah,
so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, Brandon Ayuk, if his targets go up, even with Deebo coming back in the near future. So I'm going to actually go with another wide receiver from the Cleveland Browns. Speaking about them, Rashard Higgins.
Yeah.
He caught all 6 of his targets for 110 yards. And again, a shootout that we saw against the Bengals in a 37-34 win. The dude looks good, like really good. If you watch that game, him and Baker Mayfield connect, and like we were saying, with Odell being out, unfortunately, Baker Mayfield may look even better with Higgins, Jarvis Landry. So we can see what happens there. I'm gonna go with one Eagle to keep, and this is not somebody for an immediate pickup. Not all waiver wires are, so this is someone to keep an eye out on. So Carson Wentz has about no range of any solid wide receiver except for Travis the Goat Fogum. We all know that. So Jalen,
the Travis Fulgham, the
Travis Goat Fogum. Okay. Jalen Reagor's coming back. They activated the 21-day window for him. They want to keep an eye out. It's not guaranteed that he's going to start against Dallas, as they want to be precautionary of the thumb injury. But to keep an eye on Jalen Reagor coming back, it'll be Jalen, Travis, Greg Ward. Who would have thought? Greg Ward. So Jalen Reagor would be one of them. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but for my final wide receiver, it's going to be Nelson Aguilar. Never thought I would speak that name into existence ever again. I didn't think I'd have to think about this guy. But Nelson Aguilar caught 5 of 9 targets for 107 yards and a touchdown in Week 7's loss to the Bucs. Now it's the Buccaneers. We already know Tom Brady and everything about his team and how good he is. But Nelson Aguilar, the guy who was considered in Philadelphia a huge bust, cold hands, couldn't catch anything for his life, the memes that surrounded him, goes to the West, plays for Derek Carr, and does pretty damn well. And I'm happy for Aguilar, as he can finally put some haters to sleep, and he can rest easy in Las Vegas.
All right. All right, Mike, how about you give us your tight ends on the waiver wire?
Guys, this is rough. I was looking at the tight ends that are owned in less than 50% of leagues, as we previously agreed. So I have some stashers, and I have one emergency play for this weekend if you can get him. I'll go with this weekend. Richard Rodgers for the Eagles. They're having some injury problems there. He's an experienced guy. I think he played with Aaron Rodgers too. He's a fine tight end, and they use the tight end a lot. So if you're in a pinch, he's only owned at 6.5% of leagues. The other two,
it's a great choice. It's a great choice.
Well, you're gonna love my next one.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert is set to come off IR in a few weeks. He's a better player. He's owned in 36% of leagues. If you pick him up now, they'll have a nice schedule down the stretch. And if you're planning ahead, like I try to do sometimes, that'd be a nice one if you have an extra roster spot, which you probably don't. And then another one of these stashers, because the tight end market is pretty low in terms of guys that are under 50%. And then there's Logan Thomas of the Washington football team. They have a bye, so you're not going to get any immediate dividends. But he's owned in 11.4% of ESPN leagues, and he's gotten 13 and 15 in the last 2 weeks. Not in that order, or in that order from the beginning, not in reverse.
Goddard would be very useful, I think, in the playoffs, and I think that's pretty smart to pick him up a couple weeks before he actually gets on the field. So that would be a really strategic.
And he might,
if you have the spot,
he might down the future be our number one tight end.
I like those. Yeah, I always saw Logan Thomas. I was kind of hesitant to pick him, but he definitely has proved himself on the Washington football team. So
he's funny. He was like a quarterback at Arizona, right?
Was
or
he
Arizona
really?
State or something?
Was
he?
That's
He played quarterback in college, and then he hasn't been like a featured guy, but he was a quarterback by trade.
And
then they're like, "Well, you're huge, so why don't you just play tight end?"
Well, what about Harrison Bryant? So. Harrison Bryant looked pretty good last weekend. You guys interested in him at all? The Cleveland Browns.
He's just behind Hooper and Njoku, and we'll see how that goes.
I just don't see him getting the targets because of the guys ahead of him. But I mean, if anything happens to those guys ahead of him, or who knows, maybe he blows up. Take a risk.
He did start last weekend, so it looks like they're going to start him as long as Hooper's out. So,
all right,
see how that goes.
I like to see that. All right, I got running backs. This is more of a fantasy takeaway than a waiver wire, but Chase Edmonds, he is owned in 67% of leagues, but he only starts in 19% of leagues. So heavy advice, start him because
Yeah.
he's 12th most in targeted running backs in the passing game. So he does get the ball when it comes to passing game. So like in PPR leagues, I would heavily suggest that you start Chase Edmonds because Drake's
He's just
injured.
better. I mean, and he just looks better too
Yeah.
every game. I mean,
Yeah, I totally agree. And then my other guy that I have is Carlos Hyde. So if he's not injured, I'd really check his injury status. But if he's not injured, he's only owned in 14% of leagues, and he only starts in 2%. He had a great game, 15 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. If he's healthy, I would definitely start him for this week. And then JaMychal Hastie. Listen, we've seen what 49ers running backs do. Like Jeff Wilson, like it's just like you can pick a different guy. You put Mostert and then you put Wilson in there. The guy's going to blow up with 25 points, and I think JaMychal Hastie could be the next guy. He's only in 20% of leagues. And then, with Wilson out on the injury. And then also McKinnon is playing, but he's banged up. So he's going to be sharing that snap share. And I think that Hastie can do pretty well in the backfield. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, those are waiver wires for the week. So we're going to be doing our week 8 lineup. We're going to switch it up a little bit. And we're going to have Nate to start. Give us your week 8 lineup for this coming week.
Yeah, so I'm going back to Las Vegas because it's a nice place to be. I'm going to Derek Carr as quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm so high on Derek Carr. I shouldn't be because he's not the most outstanding quarterback, but the dude has been playing pretty solid. He's been a steady producer this season, and for at least he's just so good. Like, even though losing, he still puts up decent numbers against every team he plays. Multiple touchdowns, as Sonny was saying, since the beginning of the week 1. So for him as quarterback, I'm going to put him into the lineup. For the running back, I'm going to have to go with Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt. I do. I know I just talked highly of the Raiders, but they have allowed 380 receiving yards to running backs this season. That's a lot. And with injuries upon Odell Beckham, as we spoke before earlier in the podcast, Kareem Hunt has been used as a receiving running back. So I definitely see his production and receiving part being more involved. Wide receiver, going to go with Devonta Adams. He's had stellar performances week in and week out, and he got most of his points, and one of them was against the Minnesota Vikings, which is who he plays this upcoming week. So that's going to be an exciting matchup. I'm going to have to go with, at tight end, Jonnu Smith. I know some people are like, why? He doesn't really produce that much. And, he's only had, so many receptions, just one reception these past 2 games. And some of that's due to injury, but don't sleep on him because he's proven to be a somewhat decent tight end. In defense, I mean, it really is nothing to be surprised about. It's the Chiefs. They play the Jets. That's just it. Like we say every week, anybody who plays the Jets, play them.
Or the Cowboys
defense.
now.
True.
That's true. That's true.
All right. We're going to go with Sonny for your perfect week 8 lineup.
All right. Well, with quarterback, I'm going to go with my streamer of the week, Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater. Atlanta defense always got to target the offense. I mean, again, we already saw him go for 313 yards and 2 touchdowns last time. So I think it's going to be another shootout. And then you got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson to throw to. So another good day for Teddy Bridgewater. And then running back, we're actually going to go with Boston Scott of the Eagles, Nate. Yeah, so, I mean, going up against Dallas, they gave up a huge performance to Antonio Gibson. Breakout performance, over 128 yards and a touchdown. Gave up a massive performance to Kenyon Drake. And I think this is actually a game that the Eagles can, dominate for most of the games and, run the clock down and give Boston Scott a lot of touches. So we'll see how it goes. But, he looked good last Thursday night, and I think he should do it again.
He's a giant killer. That's what he is.
He is, yeah. That's what he is, So another big performance. We'll see how that goes on primetime again. Wide receiver, Tyler Boyd. I mean, another shootout with the Tennessee Titans. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown last week. I think he's the most reliable option on the Bengals. And, with how bad their defense is, they're always going to be throwing a lot. And Joe Burrow just threw for a career-high 400 yards. So, the Titans, again, should be a shootout. And I think Boyd should see a lot of targets and get a lot of yards. And with how bad that O-line is, they got 2 injuries. So, I see a lot of dump-offs and short targets. So that's great for PPR leagues, Tyler Boyd. And tight end, I'm also going to go with your boy, Jonnu Smith. If you guys see what the Bengals have given up, they've given up over 56 yards and a touchdown to a tight end the last 2 weeks. I think Jonnu Smith is still a top 5 tight end. He was dealing with the injury 2 weeks ago, and then last week he had the Steelers. But, if you guys watch that game, he was getting a lot of looks in the end zone. I think he's like their best weapon in the end zone. So maybe another touchdown. We'll see. But I love him this week. And then defense, we're going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles because they're playing the Cowboys with no O-line and potentially a 3rd-string quarterback. So I think Philadelphia should have another big outing.
All right. You shocked Nate a couple times there picking Eagles, guys.
Another bet here. I'm going to say Jonnu Smith gets less than 6 points. Okay?
I'm double counting on that,
I'm
Mike.
hammering that. Hammering, Mike.
So you can say less than 6. I agree with that.
All right, so I got Joe with me, Nate. I assume since you picked him for this, whatever this DraftKings lineup is, you're gonna go with Sonny.
I'm taking the over. Over.
Yeah, I will.
Touchdown.
I will put my car in the bet.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So that. Yeah. All right. The bet, Nate.
Wow, we got a Jonnu hater.
Yeah, Nate.
Jonnu hater over here.
All right, Mike. Give us your Week 8 lineup.
I'm pretty sure you guys said all these. Teddy Bridgewater, same reasons. Running back, I'm going with Mike Davis. This might be his last time as the workhorse, so he really wants to prove that he's worth getting more looks for that team or another team down the stretch. I'm going with Devonta Adams. I think, like Nate said, you guys ever play craps? That table is hot. You just keep going, man. It's just keep rolling.
Wait, what's it called?
Craps? Do you ever play craps?
No.
Wait, what? Like the gambling game? Like
great game.
With dice on a felt table?
No.
Craps? Craps? Someone back me up here.
I keep thinking you keep saying crabs.
Wait, you guys know what craps is?
Yeah, I know what it is. I don't know how to.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Oh my god, you guys are too young for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to Las Vegas. Tight end,
my free time.
Tight end, I'm going with Darren Waller, obviously. Don't really need to say much there. They're playing the Browns. And then defense, whoever's playing the Jets or the Cowboys, I don't know.
All right. At quarterback, I'm going Aaron Rodgers versus Minnesota. We saw what he did last time to Minnesota. Running back, it's against the Jets. I don't think they could tackle well, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire can literally bust through a lot of people. So I'm picking Clyde. I think he's a pretty fair value guy. And if you're doing a perfect lineup and a cheap target, I'm going Brandon Ayuk. Seattle's 32nd against wide receivers. He might be the only viable wide receiver on the field. So if you want a cheap worth wide receiver. And then I'm also going with Darren Waller. I think he's going to light it up against Cleveland this week. And just to make fun of the Patriots, instead of doing the Chiefs defense, I'm doing the Bills defense because the Patriots offense is terrible right now. So I would love to see if the Bills defense did some work against them. So that is my perfect lineup.
I cannot believe how much the Bills struggled against the Jets in the beginning of the game.
They did, but they put up 14
scary.
points on defense. That was the only good thing they did.
Yeah, I was like, you got to be kidding me because I picked them in a pool that I'm in.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. I think about 28 people out of 36 picked the Bills in the league.
Wow.
And I was like, they all got wiped out.
I mean, it's the Jets, so. But
I was like, please. I was like,
anything can happen.
So you said Clyde's going to be the running back, but couldn't you maybe see them feeding Le'Veon Bell against his old team?
No, I did not consider that.
That's a good one.
I was actually considering making Bell. I was considering making Bell my start of the week just because they're going to feed him against his old team.
I don't know. I feel like Bell would be more of a flex.
I think this week you can feel pretty good about him. I mean, they're favored by 20. They're favored by 20.
Yes.
Do you remember what you said about AJ Green?
Yeah.
He isn't. Yes.
Yeah, that's Le'Veon Bell. He is washed.
Yes.
I agree, but I mean,
He is washed.
It took me a minute.
Jets,
I was like, wait, age old and washed. Yes.
Yeah, he's washed. It's
Do you
over
think?
for
All right,
him,
now
man.
do you think?
I hope
do you
they
think,
play him as much as possible, so the
and then
Chiefs
you can
do
sell
poorly.
him, and then you can sell him after this week. You know, have a big blow up game from Le'Veon Bell, and you just give him away.
Well, do you guys think Le'Veon Bell is washed because of the Jets?
Yes,
Do you think
but
that?
also
do you think
he
the
doesn't
Jets
care.
ruined him?
Like it's
Yeah, he got his bag. The dude literally had nothing for millions and millions of dollars. The Jets are.
All right.
All right,
It is
guys.
funny. It is funny. That's worth
is.
that laughter. Well, oh, it's sad. It's sad though. It's sad for Jets fans. Who else was going to sign him though? I want to know what if the Jets didn't offer him, and what were they going to offer him? Anything like that would also been a terrible deal. Also, jeez.
Adam Gase just didn't use him right. He just couldn't use a solid running back. The dude
I don't
was
know that
amazing
he
in
would have been.
Pittsburgh,
I
but-
don't know that he would have been good anywhere. He maximized what he did in Pittsburgh. Good for him.
All right, guys, we're gonna get to our final topic: buy low or sell high. I actually have some spicy questions to ask you guys instead of me
spicy.
offering them.
Oh,
So I'm gonna pick.
I like
we might not have
spicy.
enough time. We might not have enough time for both. But would you guys rather have the question about Gesicki or Aguilar?
I mean,
Hey, Mike, I'm sure Mike would love to.
personally, I would be Aguilar.
Aguilar? All right.
Yeah, personally.
Would you guys sell high on Nelson Aguilar right now? He might have reached his ceiling. If you need help that's not in the wide receiver area, would you trade him to add value to your team? So would you sell high on Nelson Aguilar? We're going to start off with Mike.
Of course, I don't think anyone's gonna pay you much for a Nelson Aguilar. No one's gonna do that. Not even I would. No one will do that. You're not gonna get a high offer.
Drops. Just drops. All right.
Yeah,
So we have one sell. I've seen it. It's been one of the higher sell targets this week. So I'm just
Who's
interested.
buying him? No.
I don't know who would buy him. I don't know how much you would give to receive him, but
he is the Raiders' number one option.
Right now he is. So that's the thing. And he's performed pretty well the last couple of weeks. So that's why I'm asking here. Sonny, would you sell high on Nelson Aguilar?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what I could get out of him, but like even you look at the waiver options, I would rather take Brandon Ayuk or even Sterling Shepard off the waiver.
Well, no.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm all in on giving up Aguilar. I think this could be like
you
the
would
last
rather have those
seasons.
two losers you just said.
Oh,
Nelson
100%.
Do you guys want to know
I think.
his start percentage?
All right, here, wait. I'll give you. Wait, who did you say just now? Who did you say? Sterling Shepard.
Are we doing
Brandon
another?
Ayuk. I like Aguilar better.
Next week,
I like them.
Nelson Aguilar gets more than both of those players combined.
Nate, write it down.
Are you kidding
Write
me?
it down.
Yeah.
All right, Nate,
100%.
you have two to write down right now.
Wow. Wait, more than both combined?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh
hold
my
on.
God.
Hold on.
I'm going to have to go with
I'm
Sonny on that one.
This is getting
about
too
it.
easy. Mike, what are you
let me-
doing?
Let me get some paper.
How many times have I been wrong so far?
Hey,
Okay,
all right.
so wait,
Nate-
Nelson Aguilar will have more points combined than
Sterling Shepard and Brandon Ayuk.
Combined, yeah.
Hey, I mean,
Why are
my
you
guys.
writing that?
Hey, my guys DJ Moore and Deontay Johnson looked real nice last weekend.
Yeah.
That was true.
I mean,
Deontay
I'm playing the
Johnson
long
did it
game. I'm playing the long game
Oh no,
on both of
100%.
those.
All right.
I'm
Well,
sad.
Nate, while you're writing that down, would you sell high on Nelson Aguilar?
yes.
Your old bud. Your old
You
friend?
just goes, yes.
All right. Well, that's it for Nelson Aguilar. And by the way, he has a start percentage of 1% in all leagues.
What was
Only
the other
1%
bet?
of leagues starting.
What was the other bet? Oh, the 6 points, less than 6 points.
Yeah.
On
That one I'm in on.
Njoku, right?
Johnny Smith,
yeah.
Johnny Smith.
Oh,
Johnny,
yeah, I got it.
Janu.
Yeah, that is it. All right. Let's start off with Mike. Who are your buy low, sell highs for this week?
Oh, you guys are gonna disagree with my sell high. It's a sell very high, sell extremely high if you can, but I'm selling James Robinson.
I hate you.
He's a good player, and I traded him away in
Right.
the ITH league, and I'm an idiot for it. But I will say
understand why.
his playoffs weeks 14, 15, 16. he faces the Titans, Ravens, and Bears. That is not like if you're in your fantasy Super Bowl or your fantasy, conference championship game and you're playing the Ravens and the Bears, like I'm looking down the line. Those are the two teams you want to face probably the least. So if you can get the two starters for him, you're gonna eat a lot of dirt in the next couple of weeks because his schedule's like really nice. But I think in the end, when you're winning the Super Bowl in your fantasy league, you are going to be laughing. So that's my explanation. You can disagree, and I would agree with your disagreeing. And my buy low, and I'm probably wrong here too, but I love Philip Lindsay. I know he's coming off a concussion, but he had a lower body injury and still looked amazing in his 9 carries, averaging 8.8 yards a carry before he got the concussion. He'll come back from the concussion strong. He's definitely the better running back. Gordon is kind of slowing down, and he will be suspended. So if you can find someone who has Philip Lindsay, and you can give up a starter for him if you're very confident, like I am, but not like a great starter.
Got it. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I agree with you what you said about James Robinson. He's just my boy. But in a dynasty league,
he's a great player.
Yeah,
he's a great
I'll
player.
give him up in a dynasty league.
At the end of the fantasy season, Ravens and Bears. Who are the teams you would want the less than them? Maybe the Steelers.
I would be starting Jags receivers though because they're going to get a lot of trash points. They're going to be down by so much. All right, Sonny. Any buy low, sell highs for week 8?
I mean, I'm just staying on brand. I'm going to go with Jonnu Smith, my favorite buy low right now. It's just like, 2 weeks, 2 terrible weeks. But again, you just got to look at it. First with the injury and next with the Steelers. I still think he's a top 5 tight end. I mean, again, if you saw the game, Tannehill was always looking to him in the end zone. And, if I could have a tight end that could start every week and not play the streaming game, I would rather just stick to it. I think he's going to blow up against the Bengals this weekend. Like I said before, 56 yards and 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks to tight ends. So I think right now is your last chance to buy him low. And, I think he's going to see a lot of touchdowns. And Tannehill's been great.
We'll
but
see.
yeah, so I'm actually currently targeting him right now because I would love to have him on my team.
Wait, that was our bet, Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, 6 points.
Oh, I totally thought we were talking about Njoku.
Oh, no. No, Mike.
I stand by it.
Okay.
I stand by it. I stand by it, though. I'll stand by it.
You still feel that way?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say.
but I stand by it.
I mean, I'm okay to void that because I thought it was pretty ridiculous that you don't think he gets 6 points. I mean, I'm in on it. I'm clearly in on it. But if you're taking it away, I'm giving you permission right now to pull back.
It's not who I am. That's not who I am.
Well, we're standing firm.
I'll own up to this mistake. You could use a dub here. You could use a dub.
I respect it. But yeah,
Mike, if you lose, your identity's covered behind that mask. No one will know. No one will know.
Oh boy. All right, Sonny, you got any more buy low, sell highs before we get to Nate?
Yeah, well, I mean, sell high is gonna be Todd Gurley because what was it?
Who's gonna buy him?
I mean, well, here's the thing. He had 2 touchdowns last weekend, but he rushed 23 times for 63 yards. That was like 2.7 yards per carry. I mean, he's just not that good. And I know people can look ahead and see they got the Carolina Panthers, like a very, very easy matchup for running backs. But I mean, I don't know. I don't want to rely on him. So I just don't think he's that good. And maybe he has a bad game, but right now it's gonna be the highest his value is gonna be. And after a big game, I would just get rid of him right now as fast as I could.
All right. Not that good. I mean, he's better in the red zone, but yeah, I agree. Like on the other side of the field, he is not that good with.
I mean, he's a touchdown or bust guy. So if he doesn't get a touchdown, what are you really getting out of him?
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'd sell medium even. Not even high. I would take medium.
All right. Nate, let's get to your buy low, sell highs. We have one mailbag question, so we're going to try to get to it. So list your guys.
All right, so running back, I got Tevin Coleman, buy low. I like Tevin Coleman. The entire backfield of San Fran has been hit with injuries. I mean, that whole team has, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole NFL has, unfortunately.
Doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
Whoever they put in there is 20 points.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Tevin Coleman has just been putting up numbers. I still couldn't believe that Atlanta let go of him. Like, in the back of my head, I still couldn't believe Atlanta did.
For some reason, we thought Freeman was better, but he wasn't.
And look where Freeman's at.
Yep.
But you have Gurley, so it would be Tevin Coleman for me. I know this one. Everyone's like, I don't know about this, but T.Y. Hilton, a buy low. Maybe. I know. It was hard for me to even write this down on the document.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. I don't know about
Yeah, I know. It's very intriguing.
If me and Mike agree on something, I think it's saying something.
But in week 8, they take on, I believe it's Detroit Lions, and they have given up so many numbers of receiving yards to any wide receiver. They gave up to obviously Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, but Philip Lindsay, remember how high he was on T.Y. Hilton, how much of a good connection they have. So I would just look into that as a buy low. See, I had this is a big mistake. I don't know why I had him, but Evan Ingram, the dude, you love him, you hate him. He has talent. The guy has phenomenal talent. He really does. He has so much potential, but for crucial catches, he's just not there. And for a game he could have beat the Eagles in, a lot of people are like they're done with him. But I would save some hope. He's not finished yet. He's super young.
Would you buy low on him because there's a considerable trade that can happen? And then once he's on another team,
I would buy low on him if it's a reasonable trade. Obviously, it's logistics. Don't give up so much for this guy. Mm-hmm. But if it's somebody you need a flex, at least if you do, or a tight end, tight end's been hurt. I
wonder if Ertz will go to the Giants, and then that you guys would pick up Evan Ingram. I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking of things right now.
If that were to happen, I'm pretty sure me and Jerome would be in front of Lincoln Financial Field with torches and pitchforks.
Well, of course you're going to get some more value, but I'm just stating that.
Sell high. I'm doing quarterback Tom Brady. We have seen Tom Brady.
They're about to get Antonio Brown.
No, but see, I don't understand why people are so high on Antonio Brown. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference. No, he's already there. I don't know.
Des Bryant. You guys are.
I'm not.
I'm Des Bryant right now.
Nah, I'm leaving him.
I don't know. Like, I get it, the whole Antonio Brown thing, and he fit well. But, like, he still has this, like, he still holds this thing in my heart where he can still be a locker room cancer. We cannot just, be distracted from that. No matter how much counseling he has gotten, it's something in your blood with NFL players that once you're that way, you're always that way. And I truly believe that we have seen that before.
Enter Michael Thomas.
Yeah, like, the dude, like, I don't know. I don't even get to that topic. But Tom Brady, we've seen him personally come down to earth from being a 6-time winning Super Bowl champion and have some, cold games, if you want to say. And he's, he'll see 3 better pass rushes. He'll see the New Orleans Saints, the Rams, and the Chiefs coming up soon. So will he finally come back down to earth and we will see Tom Brady, his age start to affect him? I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I still like Tom Brady. These are some iffy choices. You talk about spicy. This is habanero. This is habanero.
I got a question for Sonny that is not related to this.
Let's hear it.
Okay, it's 2-parters though. These 2 guys that no one knows about and we didn't talk about yet. The backups for San Francisco and Seattle. JaMychal Hastie and DJ Dallas. What do you think about each of those guys?
I mean, JaMychal Hastie would be my number 1 option like this week off the waivers. Yeah. And the thing about DJ Dallas is right now, I mean, I think Carlos Hyde's going to play, but I mean, I would absolutely take a chance on DJ Dallas on my bench just for the chance that Hyde misses. So I think those are two amazing names to bring up.
Yeah, because if he doesn't play and Travis Homer's injured too, so DJ Dallas could be a viable pick.
And we already saw Carlos Hyde miss last time. We all thought he was going to start, and he ended up missing. So, I mean, I think that's a good name to pick up because right now we don't know.
It's interesting because who are these people?
Yeah.
But they could be in for like a blowout. Like they could have crazy days out of nowhere and then never be heard from again.
If you think about it with Tevin Coleman, I think JaMychal Hastie is 5 in the running back depth when you put all like the starters in. He's number 5. Running back 5 on the 49ers. That's crazy to me. All right, guys, we did our buy low, sell high. I believe we have one mailbag question before we close it for this. So we'll get to our question. It's mid-season, so I'm very interested to see what it is. Start Aaron Rodgers or Justin
That's a good
Herbert?
one.
Aaron Rodgers.
Really good.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
You gotta start.
If you're at the craps table and the dice are going good, just keep going, man. Keep putting them on the pass line.
Yeah, I totally.
You guys
agree.
don't know what that means. It's a craps reference.
No, I've understood crabs. I just never played it before.
Craps with a P. Craps.
He said crabs.
I thought it was crabs too.
Craps with a P. Craps.
Craps.
But I have a crazy question right before we end it. Okay, so earlier on the show, why? This morning on Undisputed about the Cowboys. Okay, listen. This is huge. I was like thinking, like, could this actually be like possible? Do you think the Cowboys will get one more win this season, or do you think they go winless the rest of the year?
They're probably gonna win.
I
think they're gonna win at least one game.
I think when Andy Dalton gets back, they'll be slightly improved. And like, I mean, he'll miss this week probably.
They don't play the Jets, do they?
I don't think
that would be it, man.
They do play the Eagles again, so I think that's a win.
That's a loss.
I'm kidding.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a close game. I wouldn't.
But yeah, no, I think they'll get probably one win.
Maybe if they fire McCarthy.
The Giants too.
No, they're going to lose the Jets. Unless they fire McCarthy, they're going to have negative points.
It was just interesting. The NFC East is just such a bad.
You see the defensive coordinator got hot sauce in his eye during the interview?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I gotta leave. I got Tabasco in my eye from eating wings earlier."
The reporter's like, "Yeah, that's happened to me before." He's like, "No, dude, this hurts so bad."
Yeah, and he's like, "I gotta leave. I'm sorry."
That's just how their season's going. All right, guys. That was our Halloween episode. Listen to us on Facebook and YouTube. Also follow us on Inside the Hashes. Also check out our Insta and Twitter accounts at Inside the Hashes. And also check out our website where you can listen to our other podcasts, Air It Out and RPO. That's all we have for you guys. Have a safe Halloween and enjoy Week 8. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Peace.
Boo.